Welcome, everyone. I'm going to have to eat hot sauce.
Yeah, you are.
Very hot sauce.
I mean, it's not the hottest hot sauce.
It is not the hottest hot sauce. So what hot sauce am I eating?
It is because this is what I have access to. Shout out to our brother-in-law, Travis. Also, my girlfriend, because those are the people I have access to. It is the Hot Ones, The Last Dab, which is over 2 million Scoville, for anybody who's curious.
Sure. So as you know, last week, if you watch the podcast, this is the 4th and 1 podcast. In case you just can't read, either on Spotify or Anchor.fm or YouTube, if you're much like me who can't read and you need the visual of what this podcast is called, it's 4th and 1 podcast. We're from Lidditz, Pennsylvania, most known for the amount of cars that have car parts from different cars. So they're all different colors. Fun fact of Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Isn't that just white trash?
A little bit, but that's okay. That's Lidditz, Pennsylvania. So last week, me and Simeon, we set a bet, and loser of the bracket had to eat a teaspoon of this Hot Ones, The Last Dab hot sauce, 2 million Scoville. And we were going to give it until the final 4. However, 3 out of the 4 final 4 teams Simeon picked made it, and only 1 out of the final 4 teams I picked made it. Florida State, it was never so bittersweet for Michigan to actually win.
Wait, hold up. What? Yes, before we dive into that, only 1 of the 4 that you picked?
Because I had Illinois and Ohio State. I felt great about Illinois. I felt iffy about, and I felt good about Florida State because of their length against Michigan. And then I felt really good about Gonzaga, and so here we are. I told you last week I wasn't.
This is my face for Michigan. Like, I knew you were going to disappoint me. Here's the thing. Okay?
It was just a matter of when. In what round were you going to be disappointed in?
And I'm called that you were going to disappoint me in the final 4 because that made sense. You guys looked good this year from what I saw of you guys, from the highlights that I saw. You looked good.
They missed Isaiah Livers, though.
This goes to show you how much I just kind of BS this bracket.
I still know more about college. I know this much 100%. About college basketball, and you still
100%. I didn't watch a single game until March Madness, and possibly until the round of 32.
I had only watched Michigan games up until that point, so we are on the exact same par level. Am I too loud?
No, you're fine.
Yeah. So anyway, that will happen. You want to do that next week?
I say we let kind of everything wrap up.
Okay. So actually, it might be next week because I think the championship game is next Monday. So
the 5th. So
that's next Monday. So if we film next Wednesday, which we have been doing, why don't we? We'll just say for kicks and giggles, it'll probably be on next week's podcast. So please tune in to me eating hot sauce.
Yeah. I'm still trying to convince him in order to do it for the entire episode, which would be absolutely hilarious. I will carry you, okay? Listen, I will carry you.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Okay, fine. But we're doing my segment. We're doing segment D, and you have to eat it for segment D. For the last 15 minutes.
Sure. I mean, most of that will just be me eating yogurt, eating bread, and drinking water.
Yeah, but I'm still going to be throwing you whatever we're going to be drafting or whatever I end up doing. Your comment, I'll make you do
that's
something.
Fair. For the last 15 minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a teaspoon and dip it in some bread and eat it that way because it's just easier.
That's smart.
Yeah, I mean, you still get the heat, right? Whether you eat it fresh off a spoon or eat it on some bread or something, my mouth's gonna
for sure.
So it doesn't really matter how I consume it, but
yeah, you're gonna kind of die.
Yeah, I'm gonna die on the inside a little bit. Take some Pepto beforehand, but no, I'm gonna prep my stomach with some milk and some yogurt beforehand. I figured that'll give my GI at least a chance.
Probably smart.
Yeah,
I'm in danger.
It's true. I am very much in danger. So everyone, leave a comment in below this video or go on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, hit us up. I'm at ICU Wolverine on Instagram. He's at SS_Menno. And let us know, will I die in the fourth segment? Or how about this way? Let us know how excited you are to see me eat hot sauce live on YouTube. Well, not live.
Close enough.
Close enough. Some trades went down. Draft went down. Trades went down.
Big moves.
Yeah, big moves. What shocked you more? The Niners moving up to the third pick or the Eagles moving back to the 12th pick?
Well, it was really the Dolphins moving up to the 6th pick. Wasn't that more... Like, it didn't surprise me. The Eagles really didn't have anything.
Whenever a team moves back in the draft, it's always about the team moving back unless if they make a big jump up like the Niners. So the Niners moved up, but the Eagles moved back.
That surprised me more because it really goes to show me the Niners, because it really goes to show me that the Niners want a quarterback and that Jimmy G is going to be leaving. That's what it shows. So we all know. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know where were the Niners before. You'll have to forgive me. Here, it's on your thing here. Trade the 6 for the 13. So they were in 12.
They're where the Eagles are right now. So just so everyone is clear. So the Dolphins were at 3. The Niners traded with the Dolphins. They traded a whole bunch of... They traded 2 second-rounders, a first-round pick next year. The Niners did, to move up from 12 to 3. Dolphins went from 3 to 12 and then traded with the Eagles. The Eagles... And they gave the Eagles the 13th overall pick, the 122nd, and a first rounder next year to go from 12 to 6.
It was the Carson Wentz trade, basically, what the Eagles did a couple years ago for Carson Wentz.
So just so everyone knows how all those teams relate.
Here's what it tells me. Quarterbacks are going to go. There's going to be at least 5 or 6 in the first round.
Well, so the Niners seem to be mostly interested in Mac Jones, or at least that's what they're telling everyone. Both Kyle Shanahan and the general manager, John Lynch, who's in charge of drafting players, both went to Mac Jones's pro day on the same day that Justin Fields was holding his pro day, which seems to tell you that they're probably either thinking Mac Jones, or they were both Kyle Shanahan and Lynch were at Trey Lance's pro day. So it's either going to be one of those two. That's what they're at least telling you on the outside. Who knows? And we both, Simeon and I, have been advocates for Justin Field. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Who's dropped? I'm looking now on this.
I don't get it. He ran official at his pro day, ran a 4.43. What through a crossbody throw on a dime, 65 yards in the air, matched Zach Wilson, whose pro day was a day earlier, throw for throw. He's more athletic than he's bigger. He's more athletic than Zach Wilson. I don't get the fascination with Zach Wilson when Justin Fields is more athletic and he's sitting right there.
Yeah, I'm trying to find what ESPN has ranked, which they don't have anything. I'm not going to worry about it.
Well, more people are coming out in Justin Fields' favor, but it still just feels like people are just getting all over Zach Wilson for no reason. Like, I get it. He's talented and he might be good, but I think the more solid bet by far is Justin Fields, right?
I think so. The big thing for me is personality, right? That's always the Wonderlic score is what people mostly put off of that. The question people tend to have is the personality going to fit? You need guys with the right personality. You know, see Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, even guys like watching Carson Wentz do Pat McAfee. I apologize. Watching Carson Wentz do Pat McAfee. You look at money, please. You look at guys with specific personalities in order to get the job done. And so the question is, that's kind of the question that I'm wondering is Zach Wilson quote unquote a better personality. People are thinking he's a better personality than what he is. Me and you always kind of look at it as skills first, personality second. And what I'm wondering is, are all these scouts or all these GMs so used to seeing skills that now they're just being like, yeah, screw it. I want to know what his personality
then
is.
I would really wonder what's the big, because at least from an outside perspective, someone who follows college football so closely, Zach Wilson seems to have the personality of
a high schooler.
Not quite that, because I'm sure he's a little more mature than that. But yes, more having fun with it. And Justin Fields is more a professional with it already. But then wouldn't you think that if I were a GM, I would want the more professional one?
Well, here's the thing. I'm making my judgment. I've made assessments off of one play before, and I've been right sometimes. I'm not saying I'm right all the time, guys. But the assessment that I'm making on Zach Wilson is in his Coastal Carolina game when they got hammered because they just weren't as hungry as Coastal Carolina was.
They didn't get hammered, but they definitely should have won that game.
They should have won the game.
They lost by,
they lost by a yard and a half. Basically. Yeah, but there was a reason they lost by a yard and a half, and that's because Coastal Carolina was more hungry than they were. Also, apologies for the hair. I just woke up.
You're not forgiven.
Okay, good.
You know what? You need to be more like Ricky Bobby. I watched that film this week, and he wakes up in the morning, okay, and he's ready to go.
Heck, here's the deal. Yes. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
So I don't want to hear it. You need to be more like him. You need to wake up in the morning, you need to piss excellence.
I'll do better. There was a play where, like, the ball got handed off, and his running back or, like, a fumble happened, and you see it where for the people on the camera, he's like right here and all the action is happening right here. And he could clearly come in and block or do something. And Zach Wilson's just chilling up here. He's just chilling. And the running back then runs over here and then he like gets in the frame. So he looks like, he kind of reminds me of a Jameis Winston type of thing where like, oh, I'm done with my part now. Now you have to do yours.
So that could,
not a team player.
Okay. So that could be. I will say in the NFL, his coaches are going to tell him don't get involved in that. Now, Patrick Mahomes would get involved in that.
Thank you. That's another guy.
Patrick Mahomes would get involved.
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Carson Wentz. All of these people have gotten involved in plays.
Right. No, I agree. And do you know what quarter, what down? Like, was it late in the game? Was it second quarter where it didn't really matter what was happening?
I don't
like
remember.
The play was blown up.
Okay,
I get what you're saying. Okay? I'm just playing devil's advocate. The important thing is here.
This podcast is not a podcast for devil's advocates. I'm just saying.
This is a podcast for bold predictions and standing by them, no matter what is.
I'm in danger.
That is Micaiah right now, due to what he just did to us.
Yeah, sorry about that. So. The awkward cut there is because I got too excited pounding the table about this podcast being about bold predictions. I got too bold in my predictions about this podcast that I unplugged my camera and therefore Zencastr, fix your product. It just randomly stopped the recording.
No, you would want it to stop recording. I don't want people cutting out in the middle of my podcast. It's a safety feature.
But you could edit it. Whatever.
No, most people do. You don't want it. The thing about this product is it's supposed to be for the lowest common denominator. Just saying.
Well, that would be us. The lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
So where were we? Zach Wilson. Justin Fields is better than
I'm Elfo.
Sorry. Don't play it again. Elfo. No.
You're just going to keep clicking that?
No. Stop. No. It got stuck. There is some... Zencastr does still need to fix his product. I'll still use it, though.
So,
and blame you for sucking.
So I think that's where we left off.
Micaiah sucks. Zach Wilson needs to be ranked lower, and
Justin Fields is a stud.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
That's us right now. Do you want to run through a first round mock draft real quick again now with the trades, or at least like the pick 12 with the different trades?
No, yeah, we can totally. Yeah, why don't we just do like 1 through 12 real quick?
Yeah, because
why don't we do that?
The funny thing is 1 and 12 does not change. 1 is Trevor Lawrence, and 12 is whatever wide receiver should be. Here's the thing. Eagles aren't going to do 12 at a wide receiver. They're going to do something stupid, but that's beside the point.
So that's the big question is, because the Eagles need skill talent. So what are they? Are they going O-line with that pick? Because they also need O-line. So are they going O-line? Are they going...
Who's available at 12?
Well, let's run through it, okay?
It should be. Here's the thing: is Kyle Pitts has moved up. It should be Kyle Pitts, but
but they don't need tight ends. That's what annoys me.
Yes, they do. They lost.
Kyle Pitts ran fast.
They need.
No,
tight
they
ends.
didn't. They don't need tight ends. They didn't release Zach Ertz. They still have Goddard.
They didn't release Zach Ertz yet.
Yeah,
he won out.
He does, but they haven't done anything with him.
Okay. We'll see. Well, they might be making some moves at the trade then. That should be interesting.
Well, I think draft day is where you're going to see any.
Pick number 2, Jets. Is it going to be Zach Wilson? You think they're going to be stupid enough to pick Zach Wilson?
So are we doing that? Are we going predictive, or are we going with what I would do?
Let's do what we would do.
Okay. So if this is what I would do, so you had Trevor Lawrence. If this is what I would do if I was the New York Jets, is I would take Justin Fields. I absolutely would. No ifs, ands,
even
or
over
buts.
Mac Jones.
Yes, even absolutely over Mac Jones. 100%. So with San Fran, what do you think San Fran's going to do? This is what I want from you. What do you think San Fran's going to do? Not what you would do with that pick. What do you think San Fran?
Who did they go to see? I sent you that meme. Who did they go to see? Who did the GM go to see?
Were you not paying attention? I covered this already in the beginning.
I know.
Of the
I
podcast.
forgot. I'm asking you because you covered it already.
Well, then say that.
I don't remember. Oh, who was it? Just answer my question.
It was Mac Jones. They went and
Mac Jones.
Both the GM and the head coach went to see Mac
I specifically sent you that, and I'm talking about me and my brother send us sports things, sports photos, ESPN, CBS Sports, even third-party people on
Sometimes
Instagram.
We send each other reels. Yeah,
that too. We also send each other funny things.
That we probably shouldn't share on the internet.
Probably not. I think they're going to pick...
Which is kind of funny because...
Yeah. We're gonna put Mac Jones in. I'm gonna put Mac Jones. They're gonna pick Mac Jones.
Okay.
I think they went to his, and I think kind of tangibles and experience.
So I think Mac Jones has what Kyle Shanahan wants in a quarterback,
100%.
which is quick decision makings and able to move and read defenses quickly with his eyes. And then he has good body mechanics, and Dan Orlovsky brought this up on Get Up this morning. Come on, ESPN, fork that money over, even though I call you guys losers all the time.
Money, please.
Exactly. Dan Orlovsky brought this up. The last 2 quarterbacks that Kyle Shanahan has taken to the Super Bowl was Matt Ryan and Jimmy Garoppolo. Mac Jones ran the 440 shuttle drills, all of that faster than both of those quarterbacks. So he's more athletic. So Kyle Shanahan protects his quarterbacks a lot because in a good Kyle Shanahan offense, they're running with 2 or 3 running backs, and they're running for close to 200 yards a game. And then it's pretty much about the tight end and can you get open at the skill positions, which I think that they can. So I like Mac Jones.
Here's my question. I like Mac Jones too. He's more like from a pro style in college. Yeah. And he's a little bit more skilled. I think he's more refined than people give him credit for.
Sure.
My question is at pick 4 here. What are you doing from the perspective of you have pick 4, you have now Zach Wilson on the board. You have Trey Lance on the board. You're the Falcons. Are you blowing it up in the future and therefore we shouldn't? Or are you just a piece away where Matt Ryan needs another target? In which case, take Kyle Pitts, who's right there.
So are you asking what I would do with this?
100%.
Or
I'm setting you up.
So I would take So in this situation where Justin Fields is already gone, right, and Mac Jones is gone, I think that they would be ecstatic to take. I can't even find him on the board. Oh, there he is. I think they would be ecstatic to take Zach Wilson. Now, let's play this out and let's just reverse it real quick. If the Jets take Zach Wilson, I think that they would be ecstatic to take Justin Fields or Trey Lance, but I think it would rather be Justin Fields. So in this situation, I have them taking Zach Wilson though, because of the situation we're working.
100%. I think Zach Wilson would probably be a better fit because you can sit behind Matt Ryan for a couple years, see what you can do with the pieces you have together, knowing that you have a quarterback of the future and knowing that you have a good mentor.
Either him or Trey Lance.
100%.
Trey Lance is a bigger, more accurate thrower than Lamar Jackson. That's basically what people are saying that he's gonna translate to. Now, whether or not he does, I don't know. He's only played 16 college games at the FCS level.
Right.
Good quarterback, still good competition. I mean, there have been plenty FCS quarterbacks to come out and play well and win Super Bowls, i.e. Joe Flacco, and almost win MVPs, i.e. Carson Wentz. So it's not like you can't, from the same school.
Yeah.
So it's not
same
like
coach
you can't do it.
Not like coach left.
I'm a little more iffy on Trey Lance.
Just because of his experience. Bengals.
So I'm just going to skip the Bengals because they're going to take an offensive lineman, whether that be the offensive lineman.
You don't think they're going to take Jamar Chase?
Oregon.
Now that they lost AJ Green, that's the thing is they lost AJ Green. Since the last time we did a mock draft, they lost AJ Green, and we know he has to train. You're 100% correct. They need O-line help.
Joe Burrow was hurt because he was smacked around this year.
100%. I'm 100%.
You gotta go. I understand, but this draft is so rich in wide receivers, and you can get. I'm sure you can trade back in if you need to. There's still a couple wide receivers on the free agent market you could go get if you really. You can make a trade for Julio Jones if you really wanted to do something like that. Go out, protect your young quarterback, take an offensive lineman.
I put Penny.
Yeah, Penny. Sewell.
The Oregon guy.
Okay, so the Dolphins. What are the Dolphins doing at 6, in your opinion? What are they doing? Are they given to a help?
Oh, yeah. I think the question is who? The question is it Jamar Chase or is it Devontae Smith? Is it Jalen Waddle?
I actually think it's between... I think Devontae's kind of getting pooped on a little bit.
He's going to fall. And I think the Eagles know that. I think they're hoping
I think so. I think if Jamar Chase will probably be the first wide receiver off the board. And I think your question is right. Not what, it's who.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that...
And that's who we're going to put in Jamar Chase there. Lions at 7.
Lions at 7. Okay, so here's another interesting one. Do they take defense, offensive line, or do they take wide receiver?
I'm trying to remember the moves they made. I think they take wide receiver. I think they're kind of trying to rebuild, and I think they're going to pick probably Jalen Waddle as if he's up next. I mean, they would be smart. Again, I think Devontae has the biggest upside in the NFL because he's so small right now. Their coach in his press conference won the press conference by saying, we're gonna get punched, we're gonna bite off their kneecaps, we're gonna bite off their ear, right? Blah, 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 that just screams either offensive line to me or defense. That doesn't scream, and I know that they lost both their wide receivers in free agency, but that doesn't scream wide receiver to me. So you're taking Patrick Surtain? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm taking Christian Darrisaw from Virginia Tech.
Interesting.
Not sexy, but again, they have Jared Goff. They have decent running backs. Their running backs are half decent.
Yeah.
They have a good group of tight ends with Hawkinson in there. Goff's no scrub. If you can protect Goff, I think they're a bad football team. Yes, they're a 6-win football team. Taking an offensive lineman probably gets you an extra game because it'll get you an extra touchdown or that extra 2 seconds for Goff to throw. You take a wide receiver, a rookie wide receiver. How often does a rookie wide receiver contribute enough to win you a game. I don't think it's that much. So I think that they're building for the future.
No
and
offense, if the Vikings, it's immediately.
Well,
just saying.
Yeah. The Panthers are up next. Who you got the Panthers taking?
Trey Lance. If he's on the board. If it's not Trey Lance, it's Mac Jones. If it's not Mac Jones, it's Justin Fields. It's whichever one of the quarterbacks is on the board.
I've taught you so much, and I love it. I love it.
It's a non-question. It's kind of what they're missing. I think actually Trey Lance fits the play style down there.
Teddy Bridgewater's there already, so you're not trying to...
You don't have to force the situation.
Yeah, you don't got to force it. The Broncos...
the Broncos kind of get the biggest scrub here because they have Drew Lock right now. The mock draft, the draft network that we're on, is saying that they need a quarterback.
Right.
I get that they're not 100% sold on Drew Lock.
They have Jerry Jeudy. They have Cortland Sutton, who's a stud at wide receiver. So I mean, you could.
Kyle Trask is still in this draft, and he's going to be easily gettable at the third or second round. And he's a. I think watching him at Florida this year, I think he's an NFL quarterback. He might be a backup for the rest of his life, but I think he's an NFL quarterback, and you could develop him. So I'm with you.
They're a defensive-minded head coach.
Yep,
They have a defensive-minded head coach. I think you're either taking Patrick Surtain or Caleb Farley here, and I'll just take Farley because he's rated higher on this board that we're both using. So I honestly think that they're going to take cornerback there. I will be shocked. They could take... That'd be a perfect fit for Kyle Pitts, but...
Yeah. Also, he's not a cornerback. That's why I was thinking Micah Parsons. Number 10. I think that's pretty.
I guess they could have taken Parsons there.
Yeah, maybe whatever.
That's fine.
I think
Cowboys.
They're going to be taking defense because that's what they need. They locked up everything else. Too much money. They need to draft people that are going to make an impact on defense away. Surtain. Yeah, that's not even a question.
All right. So 11, we're getting down. The Giants, they got their wide receiver. Honestly, if this board turns out the way that they're fitting here, they need edge and they need a tight end. I think they'd be tickled pink if Kyle Pitts was still there. If Kyle Pitts is still there, they're going to take him there.
Yeah.
And then
the Eagles. This is what I'm curious, and I want to make this pick together because this is what I'm curious about. Sure. The Eagles are going to be the NFL's dumpster fire over the Jets this year. I think we both can call that. I think Howie Roseman has one more year and then he gets fired. And I'm surprised he wasn't fired this year without...
Should have been. We're both very much on record. Howie Roseman should have been fired before Doug Peterson. Yeah. And if that is not known, let that be known now.
I think if they don't pick a Jalen Waddle, they don't pick Devontae Smith, they don't... And look at that twice in a row, mostly because I'm reading it. Let's not lie. Devontae. I'm using his name correct. You're still allowed to come onto the pod and smack me around, by the way. That's totally fine.
Yes, Devontae, please come on to the podcast. Let's talk a little football. I'll interview a little bit. We'll have some fun. Let's go.
You think they're going to take Jalen here?
All right. So I think if the board shakes out the way it is, and it's not going to, we're not doing bets for this. We're not trying to have a perfect board because so much things change. I think it breaks down to who again, not what.
Correct.
Even if Pitts is there, right. If Pitts and both wide receivers are there, which I don't think will be the case, I think Jalen Waddle. So there's Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, and Kyle Pitts. Yeah. I think two of those will be gone. It's just what two by pick 12, maybe even three, right. And so it's who's left.
Right.
Me personally, I'm taking Devontae Smith. He's a more polished route runner. Yep. He's a little smarter, and he's a better high pointer of the football, which means in a jump ball situation, he will go up and snag the ball out of the air. Yeah. Jalen Waddle, to me, is a little more like a Henry Ruggs, straight line speed, where maybe in a few years... Yeah, maybe in a few years, he'll be a more of a polished route runner, but right now he's running bubbles. He's bubble screen passes, he's running goes, and he's running posts. Yeah. And he's running drags across where you can get it in the hand. I feel like now he can run other stuff. He's a wide receiver who has probably been playing wide receiver since Pee Wee. Right. So I'm sure he knows how to run all the tree, right. And I'm sure that he's working on it, and he's a very good route runner. Right. But I just think if I were Howie Roseman, which I'm not, thank the Lord, hold the hell of Jesus, that I would take Devontae Smith.
Yeah. I'm 100% there with you.
I understand he's slight, but Kyler Murray's smaller than him and doesn't get hit. And yes, you can say he's a quarterback. He can see where it's coming from, but come on. How much do you see this year wide receivers just get smoked? Like, you rarely see that anymore.
Right.
Like, they come over the middle. I haven't seen a wide receiver go over the middle and
especially
get hammered immediately since the Falcons safety did it to Deshaun Jackson like in 2011.
Especially it's in 2020 like when there wasn't any contact. It was all weird because of timing and camps and that sort of stuff.
I understand he's slight. Waddle's coming off an ankle, which he'll be fine from. He played in the Natty, I think, and I went on a rant about people getting on him playing in the Natty, but I'm taking Devontae. However, if they took Waddle, I also would not be mad at that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. What do you think of the 17 game?
Oh yeah, that's a really good question. Way to do your job.
Thanks.
Way to be.
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
I think it's fine. I would have the preseason. They kept it at 3 games. You only need 2. They didn't have a preseason. Sure. They didn't have a preseason all this last year, and everything turned out relatively fine.
Right.
So I think they could have done I'm more mad that they kept 3 preseason games since not just 2. Like they could have one like the second and third week of the preseason.
Sure. I'm wondering.
Like I understand they want to keep that in because of like practice squads players. Sorry to keep interrupting you, but if you're not going to talk, I'm just going to talk for you.
I'm wondering how the Players Association, the NFLPA, is going to take this. I don't know when their next contract negotiation is or their next CBA is, but that's my question, right? The last thing these players want to do is play more games, right? The owner's gonna do it because their revenue's down, right? The NFL, the salary cap isn't going up. So my question is
going down 8%. Yep.
Right. The question is, if it bounces back, great, and you're right on track. If
it's going to,
right. If it doesn't, or if it rebounds slower than you think it is, what's the PAA think about this? Are they okay? Because it's going to be more injuries because bodies aren't ready for this. I get that it's 3. Are you going to shorten it to 2 games? The preseason to 2 games? What's the structure going to look like? What's payment? What's benefits going to look like? I think we're looking for a new lockout. I'm not going to lie. I think we're going to look for a shortened season.
I just
coming soon.
I think that's just too dramatic. It's an extra game during the regular season, and you'll lose one in preseason. Like, I understand this is a hard sport on the body. Don't get me wrong. And
the players have been complaining about a 17 or 18 week season since the dawn of the NFL.
No. The players with the loudest voices have been complaining about it, but they're going to get paid for it.
That's all. Sure, but when you average 2 years in the NFL. Okay.
3.
It's 2.5. Okay. The over/under is 2.5 on an NFL career. Okay. Most guys are not making enough to justify a 7th game. That's who the PA has in the past has negotiated for.
No, but the NFL has done everything to take care of this problem. Practice squads are bigger. Players are being paid more. So you have more reserves to fill in for the people who are inactive that week.
Sure.
Okay.
And you hope that the XFL would be able to help you basically be a development league in the future.
Which I think is what the Rock is going for.
Exactly.
Rosters are also going to be bigger, or were bigger last year, and I think that's carrying over.
Sure.
And you get an extra playoff team. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out why these players are BSing about this extra playoff team. Like last year, it's like
that doesn't make sense.
They want to be in the playoffs. That's fine, but then you need an extra week.
You notice nobody ever complained about the play-in games for the NCAA tournament. When they remember, like
it was a very quiet minority.
It was a minority. It's like, oh, we've added 4 more teams, and there's a playing game that gets in for like the 12th and the 16th.
Jay Billis had a huge problem with it, but Jay Billis has a problem with everything everything the NCAA does. We have some breaking news. I don't know if you have a soundbite for that. But we have some breaking news. Nice. Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Washington football team, officially takes 100% control of the Washington football team.
Yeah, any good sports fan will know that was the Washington football team is screwed. Just letting you know. Like, I get Ron Rivera is there and he is the savior of Washington football team. Legitimately, if any other coach had walked into that situation, the Washington football team may be playing high school games at this point.
So an owner who kept the name of the Washington football team, the Washington Redskins, for a long time, which, if you think about it, if just a normal person thinks about it, seems a little off color to say the least. Okay? If you don't want to go full-blown racist, that's fine.
Yeah.
Off color, you'd have to agree. It's a little off color.
Yeah.
Fine.
Remember, this isn't the Chiefs or the Braves or something.
You are now, and there has also been some accusations about sexual misconduct.
Of course, there has.
In his organization.
Yep.
Not necessarily related to him, but with just
close enough to him. Yeah.
Correct. There has been accusations of him being a little racist, let's say, in him literally thinking the players on the field are his to own. Now, there are white players and there are black players, so it works both ways, but still, either way, that thinking's a little off. Again, off color, to say the least. You now give him 100% control of his team, who, when they had to change their name, the minority owners who he just bought out were threatening to hike out and cost him billions of dollars, and sponsors were going to go out.
Field, the whole thing.
And they were all going to leave. Now he bought them out. And now I'm not saying he's not going to go back to the Washington Redskins. That would just be a terrible idea, and he's not that stupid, or so we think. But he might be stupid enough to keep the name the Washington football team. Let me put it that way.
He probably is. He probably is stupid enough from a spite perspective, because that's the only reason he kept the Washington football team, the Washington Redskins. We're not being racist, guys. We're just quoting.
For sure.
For as long as he did. You're looking at there was the whole thing when like the sexual allegations were coming out. They were like switching it was just handled so poorly, like that Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins thing. And like around like 2 years ago, you just heard like the GM couldn't be there. It was just handled. He's a worse Jerry Jones over Daniel Snyder.
Okay, I was just about to say
I would take Spanos out in LA, the Chargers owner, over.
He's great. Spanos is great.
No, most of the YouTube community hates him. That's
fine. YouTube community can hate him, but he stands by coaches and players a lot longer than what he should.
100%, but they don't like that he left San Diego.
So Jerry Jones is a bad GM, and Daniel Snyder is an even worse GM. Let's just put it that way.
And a bad owner.
And there was stuff when Robert Griffin was there. Again, like I said, about him owning Robert Griffin. Like
you're looking at possibility the NFL's next big PR problem.
But somehow it isn't.
We're talking,
but somehow he won't be.
It won't be. It's possible. Who was the owner for the NBA? The Clippers owner, Donald Sterling. You're looking at the possible next Donald Sterling. Let's just put it that way. When it comes to PR problems,
PR. Yeah,
and
we're not saying Daniel Snyder is a racist. We're not saying that.
There's an aspect also, like, we now laugh about how stupid Donald Sterling was, but even Blake Griffin does, who was the main reason that Donald Sterling was.
All I'm saying is for everyone who pounded their fist about the Washington Redskins not changing their name,
you better keep pounding your fist over that.
And Daniel Snyder, why start pounding your fist right now?
Don't
the news, the new. I'm not pounding my fist because I'll end the podcast. The news at 5:50 came out on the 31st of March. You need to pound your fist right now. If you didn't like it, if you didn't like the Redskins, and you didn't like that name, justified. Not saying it isn't. Start pounding your fist now, because the guy who was just doing it basically out of spite, to spite you all, is now in charge of the whole shebang, the whole kit and caboodle. He's in charge, and much like Ricky Bobby, he thinks he's hot shit.
I'm not giving him the soundbite.
No, that's good, because even Ricky Bobby, I went back and watched a movie, and that movie is kind of falls in line with the Will Ferrell movies. But like Will Ferrell Ricky Bobby doesn't deserve the Ricky Bobby soundbite, and neither does it's one of those
big news, guys. We got a couple different advertisers for the first time here.
We did. Oh, and we got a comment on YouTube.
We did. We will talk about the comment on YouTube after we talk to you about our first sponsor. Our first sponsor is brought to you by Duke. Are you in need of dog fur? Are you in need of a smiling good boy? Then Duke is the right choice for you. Duke is the #1 source of dog fur in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Pure, German Shepherd fur. You need some white fur. You need some new clothes. You need to make a nice blanket for yourself. Then go for Duke. If you use our code 4th&1 at Duke.com right now, you will get a free rabbit inspection done by Duke. He will also bring his own crane as well. So go to Duke.com and start getting your fur on today.
That's a pretty excellent advertisement,
That was like perfect timing too. Thank you. It's a pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. We're proud of what he's.
I'm definitely proud from that being our first advertisement. I'm definitely happy with that. You know how I'm sure that there are some people out there who, when they get sponsors for their podcasts, like most every white guy that in North America has, they might not like all of their sponsors, but I feel like I'm gonna like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good sponsor.
Who doesn't need hair everywhere?
Yeah, absolutely. I keep some in the backseat of my car constantly.
100%.
It's needed. A lot of my sweatpants have it. You
never know when you're going to be pulled over and they're going to be searching your car and they're going to be like, we better find some dog hair in the back of your car or you're going to prison. Yeah. Like, you never know when that's going to happen. And
it's also good for the ladies. The ladies know that you're, a dog. Yeah, a dog
ladies know. You can lock that down with the ladies.
Big on 100%. They're all over TikTok. The whole thing.
So I forgot to mention last week, I watched the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah, I started it last night. I finally convinced myself to start it. I'm on chapter 3, you started 3, I think I'm on chapter 3.
So
I didn't see. Let me make it clear. I didn't see the first Justice League. Okay. I saw Wonder Woman. I saw Batman versus Superman, and I saw Wonder Woman 80 whatever. So that was like anything else in between there I didn't see. So this is my first experience with Justice League.
So it just and without spoiling it for you, when it comes to the Superman resurrection scene, I think you're gonna really enjoy it.
Okay.
I think you're gonna really enjoy the Superman resurrection scene, because it's in the first one. However, they changed it, and I'm not going to explain how they changed it because that would be spoiled, but I think just let me know what you think of it.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you how it differs from the other one.
Yeah.
But also with it, so Justice League came out.
Yeah.
Cool name for a movie, right?
Yeah.
And they're coming out with all of these, Marvel's coming out with its TV shows.
Yeah.
Have a bone to pick with Marvel.
Yeah.
They're really going out on the limb with their names of their TV shows. WandaVision, literally just the name of the two characters. Now that's out is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Name of the two characters. Then you're just going to get Loki in June.
Here's the
name
thing.
of the character.
They're not trying very hard, and I think that's the point. I think they're trying to go comic booky, and I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie.
So for Loki, you could do the Master of Mischief
100%.
or the God of Mischief.
Right.
Like it. I don't know.
But I think you're going to kind of see. I think they're kind of going for a comic book feel with their TV shows, which I kind of enjoy. I'm not going to lie. I like the idea.
No, it's not bad. Have you watched any of it?
Of
Falcon
Winter Soldier? I almost said Captain Winter Soldier. Yeah, I've been watching it. So because I work nights, I'm able to have something on while I'm working. And so at 3 a.m. when it comes out, because that's when Disney releases it, I just watch it right away. So every Friday morning I watch it right when.
So that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
First, that you get to see it when it's released.
Yeah.
Also, the new Captain America, spoiler alert, kind of a little bit of a dick, right?
Yeah, I didn't like it first. First of all, nobody's going to understand this reference. He looks like Ryan F9 from Fortnite. So he looks
weird in the helmet.
He looks
right?
weird in the helmet. It's his chin. I'm actually not going to lie. I like the character development that they're putting him through because it seems like he's a real person. Like it seems like it's something that he's actually going through and having to put up with. And it doesn't seem cheesy. It doesn't seem forced. It just seems right, even though it's wrong. Like we get it.
So
we get the struggle. I actually get what they're trying to tell the story.
Right. So you know what the Falcon and the Winter Soldier are going through right now.
Right.
And how they feel about it. Right. That's how I feel like the entire audience.
Exactly.
My goodness, I had a stroke. Feels about a new Captain America. Like, wait a minute. He was part of this franchise movie for decades.
Right.
He's the one who stood up to Thanos.
Right.
He's the only one.
He's one of two people who can pick up Mjolnir. Like,
right. He's the goody two shoes. He's the one who jumps on the grenade for people. This guy has jumped on okay, this guy is, yes, if you watch the show, he's a badass. You know, he can throw the shield. He's really strong. He's jumped on many of grenades. He's won many of medals, just like Steve would, but it just feels weird.
Right. And I think that they're doing a great job at capturing the weirdness.
Yes.
You're 100% right.
I like it a lot.
I don't like how they just they could have introduced the racial aspect. I like that they're bringing it up, but they forced the racial aspect for me. And I'm like, guys, could you have done a better job at that? Because they could have.
It felt rushed.
It did.
And I feel like that doesn't, now maybe they'll pick into it a little bit, but it felt,
guys, when Luke Cage does a better job at dealing with racial issues,
it felt like they just threw that in there just to be able to throw
we knew
that
what
in
happened
there.
this summer, you know?
Right.
It's like, guys, when Luke Cage does a better job at dealing with racial issues than this does, and it shouldn't be that way.
And the part of the scene is that they keep asking Bucky, is this guy bothering you? And he's like, no, he's not. We're fighting.
Yeah,
he's fine.
You can clearly see that they're not arguing in an argumentative sort of way. And
yeah,
no offense, please, some white people are that dumb. Let's not lie. No police officer who's worth his salt is going to see two people yelling at each other. They'll stop, roll down the window, probably.
Yeah,
but you can tell the difference between, if I'm like living in the city, I can tell the difference between me yelling at two people arguing outside who don't know each other and two people arguing outside who do know each other.
Who do know each other. Yeah. Right.
There's a difference in tone. There's more of a I loved the Black Falcon comment though. That was hilarious.
So you're just black kid then?
You're just black kid then? So here's the thing.
Marvel rushed an issue that that really, honestly, they're a comic book. And if you're going to touch on the issue, give it more time. But really, you didn't have to. Thank you for trying to, I guess.
Spend your time to do it right, basically.
Yeah. Or don't do it at all.
E for effort, but not an A. Okay? You barely get a... We'll give you a passing grade. We'll give you a D.
I won't even give them that.
Okay.
I'll give them a B. The Nets, I mean, we're just kind of jumping topics here.
Yeah.
Which I don't even care about. The real quick, though, the Brooklyn Nets have signed Lamarcus Aldridge now.
Yep.
Which was Blake Griffin.
Yep.
At this point, if they don't win the championship, they have to be disbanded. The franchise 100%. Should no longer exist.
Yeah.
You have probably...
Go back to Jersey.
Probably 3 of the best scorers in the NBA today.
Yep.
You have 2 of the best scorers in the NBA of all time.
Yep.
You probably have the one guy who can out dribble and get an open shot. All 3 guys can get an open shot every time they want, but you have the one guy in NBA history with the nicest handles.
Mm-hmm.
Your bench is now deep with Blake Griffin and Lamarcus Aldridge.
Yep.
And you have an experienced veteran and an owner who will pay whatever.
Yep.
If you can't make it work this year, and your 3 superstars are best friends.
Apparently, which was interesting.
Or at least 2 out of the 3 are best friends, and then the third is getting along with everyone, and even gave his position to the other guy and took his he said he looked at James Harden and said, Kyrie Irving said, "You be the point guard, you handle the ball." Oh, and James Harden has been tearing it up and has been the perfect teammate, as I said he would. And I said the Sixers should get him.
Yeah.
But so Nets got to win the chip this year.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Also, James Harden this week came out, and with LeBron's injury, with all the injuries that have been going overall on in the NBA, all the big superstars are out. And the MVP race is now, as of right now, down to 2 people.
Okay.
Nikola Jokic, the Joker, and James Harden.
Yeah.
And James Harden goes, the reporter asked him about it, and he goes, "I feel I'm the MVP."
Sure.
James. Have you looked at your team? Even with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving out, you still got one of the deepest benches and deepest rosters in the NBA, and you're still freaking James Harden.
Right.
Like I understand Giannis stole one of your MVPs. Like in Giannis's first MVP, James should have won it. He was averaging 35 points a game, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. He was unbelievable.
Sure.
James Harden should have won it that year. Giannis stole it from him. I get that. I'll give him that one. But dude, what Joker's doing out in Denver? He leads the Nuggets in every category. They are shooting up the standings. I think they have a 7-game win streak right now. Like, you're supposed to do what you're doing,
win streak, but
you're
3 last 10 games. And
you're supposed to be able to do what you're doing with the roster you have, and you're a good enough player where you're supposed to be able to do 27, 11, and 8, which you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So he's
let's take you off the Nets and Joker off the Nuggets and see which team can still float water. And it's gotta be the Nets.
So this season, he's averaging. I don't know if that's actually this season. I think it's this season. He's averaging. Let's look at stats. That would be a better place to look at it. Regular season. Oh my gosh, this is so stupid.
Who are you looking for?
Freaking, I'm on James Harden's thing. All right, let me just go this way. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm normally better at this than. Well, no, I'm not. My guy agrees with me. All right, here we go. James Harden. He is averaging 26.4 points a game. Basically 1 offensive rebound. Oh, no, sorry. 9 offensive rebounds, 11 assists, 1.3 steals.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's also not averaging the most. Both Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are averaging more points than him. Nikola Jokic, okay? 26.8 points a game. 11.1 rebounds,
Yep.
8.5 assists, 1.6 steals a game, and a half.
So they're the exact same player. You just flip to box scores categories.
Here's the deal. The next closest for Jokic is Jamal Murray at 21 points, and then it drops off to 16 and 12.
Okay.
The
Nets. Go look at the Nets.
No. I just told you. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving are above James Harden.
Yep.
When it comes to efficiency, basically. You're 100%. It was kind of like the point LeBron made when Steph won his second MVP or won the unanimous MVP.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
He's very good. Is he the most valuable player? Probably. No.
Yeah.
But you take James Harden, put him on, switch him for Jokic. Then the Nuggets aren't doing as well as they think they are.
No, and the Nets would do. I'm again, like you said, like you can even take James Harden off that team and Kyrie. I mean, the Nets were first in the East before James Harden got there.
Right.
So
and they're still now they're back. And now they're first. Yeah.
And now they're a half game back.
No, they're tied.
Now they're tied for first with Philadelphia. So I don't want to hear it, James. If Jokic gets hurt, it's all yours, buddy. Take it. But
before we get into my segment here, we have our second. I think we're only going to have time for 2 ad reads today, but that's okay. We have our second advertiser.
That's good. Our third advertiser's not going to be happy.
No, I'll talk to him. He'll be okay. I'll give him first.
YouTube spot. TV not going to be happy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Money, please.
This episode of the 4th and 1 podcast is brought to you by Mother's Reviews. Do you feel like you need brought up in your life while at the same time feeling like an absolute failure? Then Mother's Reviews is just right for you. You will get the best encouragement possible while at the same time feeling like you are the worst child possible. If you act right now and call 1-800-555-5555, you will get 2 bonus offers that includes Dad's glaring eyes, as well as, can you please come into this room and shut the door behind you? Remember to mention 4th and 1 when you call. That number again is 1-800-555-5555 to get Mother's Reviews.
Money, please.
That's excellent. That's all I have to say about that. Well done, sir. Academy Award for that.
That's probably my best work in a while.
That's quite good. And 100% guarantee we will hear about that review in Mother's Reviews.
Yeah, in Mother's Reviews. Okay, so I had this really good idea earlier this week. So
one of his 2 for the week.
One of the 2 for the week.
He only gets 2.
I only get 2. Anybody who's had this podcast before knows that these draft things are not my idea. I stole them from John Boy Media, from his Jim and Jake or John and Jake podcast, but they're such unique ideas that we had to. So I went shopping last week. I don't go grocery shopping all that much. I eat out way too much just with my girlfriend living up the street. We just end up getting food. And I buy cereal just for snacks. And they're not good cereals. They're not like healthy cereals. They're crappy cereals. I brought Rice Krispie treats because I was in the mood for Rice Krispies. I'm sorry. And it made me thinking, let's draft some cereals.
Yeah.
So
let's get on that.
Well, Dick, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
So this is how we're gonna go. We're gonna do 5 because I was thinking of doing 9, but we'll do 5.
Okay.
And Kellogg's doesn't have the best brand. They have some good brands, but it's more like schools. So I'll allow you to choose any name brand cereal.
Okay.
So I will let you.
So this is just all cereals, basically?
Basically all cereals,
okay.
What you want, but specifically like name brand stuff. Like don't go in there throwing oatmeal in there.
Yes. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
So I'll let you pick first. We'll do a snake draft again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I pick him first?
You're picking first.
I pick him first? Lucky Charms. Gotta hit it. Boom.
Straight off the bat.
Done. Straight off the bat. First overall pick is the Trevor Lawrence of the cereal draft. No, that's
not true at all.
Chase the rainbow and the leprechaun on the other side. Get his Lucky Charms.
Too inconsistent. That's a horrible pick, but beside the point.
What do you mean that's too inconsistent?
It's too inconsistent.
Get out of here. The Lucky Charms.
It's like eating Cheerios and then a teaspoon of sugar.
It's like eating a cloud.
Okay.
In heaven.
Okay. Well, we agree to disagree.
Done.
First off the bat for me, I get the next two here. This is kind of a hard one. It's a toss up, but Reese's Puffs.
Okay, and you're just eating a tablespoon of sugar every time you. I mean, okay, in both scenarios, you're eating just a tablespoon of sugar. Let's stop the nitpicking here, but. Yeah, what is that?
It's a good pick. That's what that is. No, it's an explosive pick. The Kyrie Irving. He's going to do what you need it to do, and you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. Or Steph Curry. Either one. They're interchangeable at this point for me. Number 2, since it's a snake draft pick for me, I'm going to go with kind of the granddaddy, the big man. It will get you the move. It's your small forward. It's Frosted Flakes.
Ooh, that was actually going to be my second pick. So you stole that. For my second pick, then I'm going to just change it up here. I'm thinking on the fly. You got to have something hearty, something to get you through the day, something maybe to prevent a little heart disease. That's right. Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's a good pick. That's a very good
right?
Pick.
Yeah, Honey Nut. Get that honey.
That's a strong pick. Cheerios is also a good option on there. Honestly, it's weird, but it's not as good.
If I'm taking a draft, you got to have something a little sweet to 100%. Get my sweet tooth.
We're coming back right to you.
Oh yeah, that's right. So this is pick number 3 for me. Actually, I'm gonna go a little off kilter here. I'm gonna take some. What are they called? Like Apple Jacks?
Oh, okay.
Cinnamon Apple Jacks,
like Fruit Loops. Apple Jacks are in that Fruit Loop family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still doing that. That's a good one. I'm just writing them down because I feel like we need to document this somewhere.
Okay, sure.
It is. That's a good one. That's a good one. See, I have 2. You have 4. You have 3. I need my 3rd and 4th. It's gonna be a hard one. You can. Oh, yeah. Rice Krispies. They're your all around. They're gonna be.
Yeah, I like. Good pick.
Yeah,
they're a good solid pick. They'll distribute for you. Yep.
And they can do a lot for you. They're not going to fill you up, but if you feed them, if you give them the ball,
get the treats.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
You got the treats in there, different kinds. You can mix things in. Yeah, absolutely. Get some nanners going in there.
100%. Good to add the stuff. Good to add on top of it. It was interesting that you went with Apple Jacks. I think I have to go. I'm going to kind of go a little bit fruity. Fruit Loops is kind of where I'm at there. They had their moment. I think they're a good value.
Yeah.
I think they're a good value. They had their moment a few years ago.
They're kind of like a Draymond Green. They were okay at one point in time.
And now they're whatever you need them to be, kind of, but not really.
Yeah. But not really. Okay. So with my 4th and 5th pick, I get my last 2.
Yeah.
So 4th pick, I am going with the roof of the mouth scraper, the all-time leader in scraping the roof of the mouth. Little Captain Crunch.
That's a good one. He was up there for me. The Cap was up there for me.
Yeah. The Captain.
And he has a couple different options that you can go for there.
You can add some the berries in there.
Yep. You got the berry Captain Crunch. Yeah. That's our dad's favorite too. If you could eat it without dying.
Okay.
Shout out to Heart Attacks.
Our 3rd sponsor, Heart Attacks. Okay.
Not actually our 3rd sponsor.
5th pick.
Yeah.
I'm in between. I'm in between 2 right now.
This is big.
I'm in between 2. I think I'm gonna go with Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's okay. Okay. Big.
My other pick,
CTG.
My other one was Honey Bunches of Oats,
CT.
and that's normally what I eat. I love me some Honey Bunches, but this is a fantasy cereal draft. Get that cinnamon toast in there. Get that toast in the bowl.
That's a big one. You have a really good team here. This fifth pick is kind of hard for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go weird here.
Okay.
Mostly because it just came to mind.
Yep.
Granola.
Not weird. Solid.
I think sometimes you just need a bowl of granola, you know?
If you hate on this granola, dislike this YouTube video right now and then leave YouTube forever.
Yeah. That's a fair reaction.
100%.
That's not an overreaction at all.
Get out of here. Legitimately pack your stuff up and leave the country.
One last thing before Micaiah says goodbye for us, as he always does. This week was a great week for the bros here, the Monster Bros, you could call us.
Yeah, us by another name. Those who know us by another name.
Yeah, you real ones, if you get that reference.
Yeah.
This week, about what was it, 8 years ago now?
It was 8 years ago.
It was puberty Simeon for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a reason I'm not going to be sharing the video. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Me and Micaiah were out on the back porch, and we made the coolest thing possibly either of us have ever done.
And we have been able to replicate it very little.
Oh, we haven't been able to replicate it.
I was able to do it like once or twice after that, but not much. None recently. I try every year.
Let me give you a play-by-play. Okay, Simeon with his probably iPod Touch up on our parents' catwalk. Micaiah shooting basketball. And what he does is he lobs the ball up onto the roof. And the roof is a 90-degree turn, and it loops around and catches the lip of the gutter and goes right in the basket.
That's the trick. And I think over time is as the house settles and whatever, the gutter changes. And so now when it catches the lip, it just goes right over the hoop. Then you catch the lip, it slows the ball down right enough and goes right into the hoop. Yeah. Either way, we went berserk.
Yeah.
Much like Dude Perfect.
Yeah. Original, like OG Dude Perfect. Like
OG Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we call it our Dude Perfect shot.
Yeah. And we just
we made some other YouTube videos, and I'm sure that they're out there somewhere.
Oh, I found them the other day. I'm not bringing them up. They will be dead forever. I would be interested to see if I can't go get that YouTube channel, because I bet I could. I remember it was like Menno and something Ridge.
I don't even know.
So yeah, that's cool. Just we wanted to bring that up. But
so we've been famous on the internet before we were famous on the internet.
Twice before. You know, this is our third.
We've been there twice.
Yeah. We act like you've been there before, you know?
That's because we have.
100%.
We straight up in this.
In
Lidditz, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm done acting hard because I'm the farthest thing from it.
Yep.
And this has been the 4th and 1 podcast. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, again, like us, subscribe to us, let us know, reach out, DM us. I'm at ICU Wolverine. Go subscribe to us on anchor.fm. Listen, guys, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Also, comment below. What is your favorite cereal? Please do let us know.
We will judge you.
Let us know if you want us to record more than once a week below. So yeah,
because we totally have time for that.
Well, if the people want it,
we will give it to you.
Yeah.
Remember to wash your hands,
give it to you.
See you guys.
Bye. Peace.